And we are on track to achieve that.
Moving on, India's micro, medium and small industries have been struggling for the last few years. Measures like the Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme have had limited success in streamlining their revival. CNBC-TV18's Jesilia Parambil and Arundhati Ramanan report that a pre-budget meeting with the finance minister players have put simpler processes for accessing funds at the top of their wish list.
Weak credit scores. MSMEs say this is one of the biggest stumbling blocks when it comes to them accessing funds from banks and other institutions. And they've asked the finance minister for help in this area. Specifically, they want a new rating system that will not score MSMEs, especially unlisted MSMEs, like every other creditor.
We suggest them to change norms for unlisted companies who actually want to do the credit rating. And because of this credit rating, you can check with the private bankers. They always have their own checklist. They are not rely on the credit rating checklist, or they don't ask companies to go for the credit rating. So this is the major issue because all nationalized banks, they ask for this credit ratings.
Even 2 years since the pandemic-triggered restrictions were lifted, MSMEs are struggling to recover. They've been hit by multiple shocks. The government has told Parliament that as of July this year, 10,000 MSMEs have shut shop completely between 2019 and 2022, against just 400 that went out of business in the preceding 3 years. Increasingly, more and more MSMEs have had to borrow money to keep their heads above water. Experts say this increased dependence on credit is likely to continue through the coming year as well.
Today, we are in a rather delicate situation where the Indian economy, while doing better than most of the other countries, has definitely registered a slowdown. So in this kind of a situation, I don't see the SMEs actually leading the way as far as the Indian economy is concerned. It will be more of a kind of a supportive nature which are required. And therefore, the kind of credit or the kind of funding which is required will be more for existence, for survival.
A report by CRISIL says that 43% of MSMEs by value are expected to remain below pre-pandemic levels in terms of earnings before interest, tax and margin this fiscal. This is largely due to their inability to pass on rising input costs and unfavorable exchange rates to customers. In particular, pain are players in sectors like chemicals, dairy processing and bulk drugs.
There is an excessive price pressure when we are selling the product because most of the global companies are piled up with inventory and they want to get rid of the stocks. So on one side there is no demand and on the other side there is a huge inventory. As a result, there is a huge price pressure on us.
Some of these sectors also hope the government will offer help in the form of lower interest rates and restoring access to a wider market.
In this tough period, we are expecting some benefits from government. They have stopped the export incentives. So if they start it for the time being, it will be very, very great help to industry. And also the interest rate which they have jacked up, if they bring it down, then survival of those industries which have just started up, it will be very, very helpful.
MSMEs have also asked the finance minister for export-oriented trade incentives, a revival or extension of schemes aimed at easing liquidity and measures to boost demand, from a greater share in public procurement to a procurement approach that puts quality over price. In Mumbai, with Jesilia K, Arundhati Ramanan.
The deadlock between